Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 16 final team selection video. In this video, we're going to cover some key questions surrounding Game Week 16. I'm going to show you guys what my transfer plans are, some of the transfers I have currently made, and also one that I'm looking to still make before the deadline. I'll show you guys what my watch list is looking like. We'll go over some teams to target over the next few weeks, and of course, I will show you what my final team selection is looking like for Game Week 16 as well. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as always, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. Before we get into this one, I just want to apologize if my voice sounds a little bit croaky or a little bit raspy. I've got a little bit of a cold coming on right now, so I'm going to try my best to get this video out for you guys. But yeah, I do apologize if it sounds a bit different than it is usually. So yeah, let's just jump straight into the key questions. The first one up, I think, is around, a player who a lot of us either are owning or a player that we're looking to bring in this week, and that is Bukayo Saka. Now, the question is, do you start him? Now, on paper, Wolves at home is probably the best fixture you could play in this season. Now, Arsenal did play last night in the Champions League. Saka did come on, but he didn't start the game, which I think could be quite telling to what we should be expecting for the weekend. Now, if Bukayo Saka started midweek, I'd maybe be a little bit more concerned about whether, in fact or not, he's going to start on the weekend. But the fact that he was on the bench, he came on for the last 25, 20 minutes, something like that, I think he should be okay to start this week. So if you've got him, he's a definite hold. If you're looking to bring him in, I still think he's a viable option to bring in. I don't know if I can guarantee that he's going to play 90 minutes. It's not the Saka of old where we've seen, Arsenal play him, whether he's injured, whether he's fit. He just always played 90 minutes. I think now Arsenal have got the depth in squad. I think they've got more opportunity to rotate him. So he might not get the whole game, especially if Arsenal go 2-3-0 up very quickly. We may see him be brought off after like the 60th minute. But I think just because of the upside that Arsenal have at home to Wolves and the fact that Wolves are so bad defensively at the moment, I think he's a definite buy this week. Okay, next up, Liverpool. Ekitike, Isak, do we get both? Can you get any? So we did see that both of them did start together on Tuesday night when Liverpool played their Champions League. And Liverpool did win 1-0. They won it right at the very end against Inter Milan, 80th minute. Isak got subbed off. He didn't really do much in the game. Ekitike is more out on the left-hand side. Obviously, Cody Gakpo is injured for Liverpool at the moment, which means someone is going to have to play out on the left-hand side. But I would err on the side of caution because obviously Florian Wirtz can take up that mantle if it needs be. If I knew guaranteed one of them was going to start, they would be in my team just because of the fact that Liverpool have got good fixtures coming up, and more so Ekitike than Isak. We've seen him perform this season, but the uncertainty around them just is too much for me, especially right now when we're going to come into the Christmas period where teams are going to be rotating. Obviously, Salah's away from AFCON, so that's going to take away that issue that's going on at Liverpool at the moment, which means someone's going to have to play on the right-hand side. They had Curtis Jones against Inter Milan. I don't think it will be him. It's just a really difficult situation to sort of try and pick who's going to start for them. So for me, as much as I think that there is upside with whichever one does start up front, I just can't bring myself to do it. I think that the minutes risk is too much. And around the Christmas period where you've got games thick and fast, the last thing you want is somebody who's not guaranteed 90 minutes to be on your team. So for me, it's a little bit of a stay away for now. If we see over the next sort of 2-3 game weeks that someone is making a claim for a starting spot, then maybe. But right now, I'm going to have to say no. And last up, what do you do if you've got Daniel Munoz? So I found out, yesterday that he's been flagged, with the red flag on FPL, and they've given him a 17th of January deadline to come back, which means he's going to be out for a while. Now, there's a few things that affect this. Number one, obviously Daniel Munoz is very, very expensive as a defender. He's above 6 million, so it's a lot of money tied up in someone who's not going to be back for at least the next month. So for me, he's a complete sell. It also makes questions around the likes of Mark Gahey, Lacroix, Richards. I think it does make Palace a little bit worse as well, because not only does it weaken them a little bit defensively, it also limits them going offensively as well, which is why Mateta, who we're going to come on to in the next section, is gone for me as well. So yeah, I think if you've got Daniel Munoz, definite sell. Don't hold him. Just get rid of him. He's probably going to drop in price a few times before we get to him coming back. So yeah, I'd say come away from him. Look for an Arsenal defender. Look for maybe a Manchester City defender, someone else around that price point, or maybe you could drop him down and gain some money. But yeah, for me, Daniel Munoz is a complete sell. Right, so let's take a look at what transfer plans I have done already. And I have confirmed 3 transfers at the time we recording this. So on Saturday, as soon as the deadline went that evening, I saw there was a few players changing in price. I did make moves very early on. It's something that I don't usually do, but on this occasion, it was a big swing. So first one up was Mateta. He was dropping in price. And the man I brought in, Igor Thiago, was also going up in price. So for me, it just, for a 0.2 million swing, that early transfer did make sense. So that was my first transfer. Mateta came out. Thiago came in. My second transfer was get rid of Senesi and bring in Timber. Now, ironically, Timber is actually flagged yellow. I do expect him to be playing on the weekend. Obviously, he was rested completely in midweek last night against Club Brugge. So I do expect him to be back. Senesi, other than Burnley next week, they haven't really got any good fixtures that I'm really, tempted by. He came off the bench for me last week, got an 8-pointer, so he kind of went out on a high. But yeah, that was the other transfer I made because obviously Timber was going up. I did then make a transfer, I think it was Monday night, I made one where I brought in Harry Wilson for Elliot Anderson. Now, Harry Wilson, for me, there's a little bit of a plan here for this one. He's a 3-week hold, and then when we get to the end of that 3 weeks, it's going to be a straight swap to Dewsbury Hall, who then goes on a very nice run from game week 18 himself. So, yeah, for me, Harry Wilson is a little bit of a short-term punt. I'm very much aware of that. If he doesn't do anything, then he doesn't do anything. It's just one of those ones that I brought him in there as a differential to try and boost my rank. He's been in good form. Fulham have got very good fixtures, so we're hoping everything's going to play out all right. But like I said, he's in there solely as a part-time player. He will be gone in 3 weeks, and Dewsbury Hall will be the replacement for him. Obviously, I am looking to make one more transfer. Daniel Munoz, like I said, we've heard the news about him, so I probably will be getting rid of him. I do want to bring in Hincapié from Arsenal. I think for minutes-wise, he's pretty much guaranteed at the moment until either Mosquera or Gabriel come back, which isn't looking like it's going to be until at least January. So we've got the whole Christmas period where he will be playing. Calafiori was a consideration, but obviously the fact that he's suspended for this game and because it's Wolves, I want somebody who's going to play now. Ben White is something that I am considering. I just need to wait and see what happens with Saliba, because obviously if William Saliba comes back for this game week, then Timber's going to probably move back to right back, which means Ben White is not going to play. So I've got Timber in there already as one, but Hincapié for me just looks like right now the definite guarantee for minutes as the other centre-back. Right, so let's take a look at some teams to target. So we'll start off first with the attacking side of data, and we'll start with non-penalty XG, because penalties for me, I could have included them in this, but I just think that you just never know when they're going to happen, right? So I'd rather go for a team based on what you can control and what you can see week in, week out, versus a lucky penalty that, if you've got the player from that team, fantastic. If you don't, then you don't really miss it anyway. So we'll start with Manchester City first. They are top, 28.8 goals expected. They were from non-penalties this season. I think there's a few assets we could look at here. I think Erling Haaland, of course, is going to be there. Phil Foden, of course, is going to be there. The last one between Shirky and Doku for their attacking side of things is a little bit more tricky, because Marmoush is obviously going away to AFCON with Egypt, so he's going to be gone. There's one less player to have to worry about rotating. But I just don't think we can guarantee who's going to be playing that third, attacking role. Now, it could end up being both of them. Foden plays, as part of midfield three, and then you've got Doku, Shirky, and Haaland as the front three. Now, that could be a case. Which one do you go for? I'd probably edge more towards Shirky. I think he's got a little bit more to his game. But I think that, Man City assets over the next few weeks, they've got decent-ish fixtures. I think they're viable options. Second up on this list is actually Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have had a lot of talk about them this season, about that they're not really a good attack. They're kind of underperforming. It's more the defenders who are getting the attacking returns. But as you can see from the numbers, it's not exactly true. So I think, like I said, Bukayo Saka, Wolves at home is just a no-brainer. If we're going for the other Arsenal attackers, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because obviously we all know about their rotation. I think Declan Rice has to got to be number 2 on this list, because he's going to play. He's on set pieces. He's on free kicks. He's on some in-swinging corners from the right-hand side. So you've got assist threat there. He will score open play goals, of course, this season as well. I think the hard part of Arsenal is that third attacker. Is it Odegaard? Is it Eze? Is it Martinelli? Is it Trossard? For me, I probably would just stay away from, and I wouldn't triple up on the Arsenal attack. I definitely would want a piece of the Arsenal defense. So yeah, I think Bukayo Saka is a great pick. Declan Rice is a great pick. In an ideal world, if I had to choose someone else and you want to go differential, I probably would say Leandro Trossard if he's fit, because if he's fit, he does seem to be getting the start at the left-hand side, and he's playing quite well. But I probably would just go for 2 out of 3 on that one. Chelsea and Man United, very, very close. Only 0.1 between them. Chelsea with 23.9 non-penalty X goals, and Man United with 23.8. So very, very close between them. Chelsea, I don't really think there's actually that many options. Obviously, Liam Delap is ruled out for about another month, which means João Pedro's minutes are going to be key. I personally wouldn't be going anywhere near any of the Chelsea attack. You just don't know what you're going to get. I don't trust João Pedro. If Palmer gets up and running and we see him consistently start to play minutes and get returns, for me, 100% he'll be there, because he'll be on penalties. We all know how explosive he can be, but I need to see that first. He's only been back for one game where he played 57 minutes. I think right now we probably just can't go there, but definitely someone to keep an eye on at the moment. And then with Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, as we saw against Wolves, we're going to get onto him when I rank, the midfielders, but for me, he's just the best midfielder in the game, because he offers you so many routes to points. Matheus Cunha has become a lot more on my radar now that Bryan Mbeumo will probably be going to AFCON next week. So he'll probably be here for this last game against Bournemouth, and then after that he'll be going, which means Cunha will probably be up front with Mount and I don't know if Bruno might get pushed forward. I'm not too sure how Man United are going to set up, but Cunha for me becomes very, very high up on my list to buy as well. Right, so let's take a look at the defence now. And of course, no surprise, Arsenal are by far and clear the best defence in the league. And it's crazy to me. They've conceded 9.7 non-penalty expected goals conceded this season. 9.7 in 15 games is absolutely crazy. So for me, double Arsenal defence is the bare minimum. Timber, 100%. If we look at the team right now, I think Timber is definite lock. Hincapié is a definite lock. Calafiori, definite lock once he comes back. It's just a shame he's missing the Wolves game. Obviously, Gabriel and Saliba, when they come back, will be straight in there, which means Hincapié will come out. But for the time being, Timber, Calafiori, and I like Hincapié because he's a very cheap price entry into that Arsenal backline as well. Liverpool are at number 2. Now, for me, I put a big red X here because I'm going absolutely nowhere near them. I know that, they've only conceded about 14.7, I think it is, non-penalty expected goals. I don't care. For me, when I watch Liverpool play, they look very bad defensively. And I think this is the debate where do you go for stats, the XG, the XG plots, or do you go for eye test? And I think for me, the best way to judge it is getting a bit of both. So you look at teams' underlying numbers and then you watch them play. So for example, Arsenal, great underlying numbers. You watch them play, fantastic upside with the defenders, Timber and Calafiori. It makes sense to go and double up on them. Liverpool, on the other hand, they've got okay underlying numbers. They're second on this list, but when you watch them play, Konate is just horrible. Their right back is just a problem, which everyone they play there. Left back's a problem for them. So for me, I've just put a red X here because I'm going absolutely nowhere near them, and I wouldn't advise anyone else jumping onto a Liverpool defender. In third, we've got Manchester City. Manchester City are a very interesting one because they've actually been starting to score a lot of goals from set pieces recently. Gavardio, Ruben Diaz, but also Nico O'Reilly's been picking up a few goals as well. Obviously, he did score against Real Madrid last night, so he's actually starting to chip in with a few goals as well. And I do think over the next few weeks, we probably will see price increases from a few of these boys because they are going to go on a nice little run in a few weeks' time of good fixtures. So yeah, definitely I would be looking out to buy one. And if I had to pick one, I probably would go for either O'Reilly or Gavardio right now. But I think any one of them is a fine option. Man City defensively, they will keep clean sheets across the season, but also their defenders are showing that they have goal threat too. And last up, we have Newcastle. They are fourth on this list. Malik Chow and Dan Burn are probably the only two that I'd be looking at. Maybe you could make an argument for Livramento, but I just think that for DEFCON wise, Chow and Dan Burn are way ahead of it. And obviously Dan Burn, if you play left back, has a little bit of assist potential as well. I've got him in my team. I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably edge more on the side of him because I think he has just a little bit more upside, but it is very close and sometimes price can be dependent on them as well. So yeah, that just completes our attack and defense. Let me just show you what my watch list is looking like for the upcoming game week as well. Right, so let's take a look in the defense first. And we're going to start off number 1, Jurrien Timber. I think, he is a little bit expensive. I think 6.5, I don't think he's value for money. However, Arsenal, Wolves at home this week. If he's playing right back, he's got assist threat. If he's playing centre back, I don't expect Arsenal to keep DEFCON against Wolves, but I think, clean sheet should be banked. And I just think Timber, for me, guaranteed for minutes in the Arsenal lineup, either centre back or right back. I think you just have to have him in there because Arsenal are the best defence in the league. Now, I put Dan Burn in at number 2. Now, I think this week is a little bit of a tricky one. I do think that Sunderland will score because it's a time-wear derby. But I think over the next 5, 6, 7 game weeks, I think Dan Burn is a fantastic option. Great price point, just above the 5 million mark. Like we said in the previous section, he's got good attacking threat if he plays left back. Great DEFCON potential if he's playing centre back. So yeah, I do like him. Hincapié at number 3. Like I said, the cheapest route into the Arsenal back line is Hincapié. 5.4 million, I think, is an absolute steal. And minutes-wise, he's absolutely nailed as well because obviously Gabriel's out, Mosquera's out, so he's the only left-footed centre back. So I think for minutes-wise, he's an absolute great pick too. Nico O'Reilly in at number 4. I have got him just above Gavardio because, I think with Aiton already going away to AFCON, he's going to be guaranteed minutes at the left-back spot. He's very tall, which means he's got set-piece threat from corners, but obviously he's a Marauding left-back, which is going to get forward as well. So I think he's got quite high upside. I think a lot of people are slowly starting to transition to him as well. So yeah, I do like Nico O'Reilly. I think he's a great price point as well. And last up on this list is Calafiori. It's a shame, like I said, that he's missing the Wolves at home game because obviously that's the one you want him for. But I do think he's still a fine option once he comes back next week too. Now we come on to the midfielders, and last week I had Declan Rice 1, Bruno 2. This week it has changed. Bruno Fernandes is number 1. There's a few reasons why. Obviously, out of everyone on this list, he has got the best routes to points. He's got DEFCON potential, assist, attacking threat. He's on penalties, on set pieces. He just offers so much to Man United. The reason, I think the biggest part about all of it, though, is that the fact that he plays 90 minutes and he's going to play 90 minutes. And through the Christmas period, having someone like that you can rely on as a potential captaincy choice as well, dare I say, I think it's just such a fantastic pick. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes is number 1. Declan Rice is number 2. I think value-wise, he's phenomenal for his price point. Again, offers a lot of what Bruno Fernandes does. DEFCON in some games, assist threat, open play goals in some games as well, at a cheaper price. But I just think that, Bruno Fernandes on the penalties, on 90 minutes, even though Declan Rice should be playing most games, there may be a time that he needs to rest because of how much work he does on the pitch. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes, Declan Rice, 1 and 2 for me, both fantastic picks in their own right. Phil Foden coming in at number 3. Obviously with him, he's on a hot streak right now. And when Phil Foden's on the purple patch, I think you just need to own him because he has such high upside. He has goal threat, he has assist threat, but he has explosive ability as well. So yeah, Phil Foden in at number 3 for me. I've got Mateus Cunha in at number 4. after this game week. So obviously Brian Mbeumo is still there. Once Mbeumo goes to AFCON, I think Cunha becomes a very, very, very serious option. You know, Man United have got very good fixtures over the Christmas period as well, where you could see Cunha playing up front, and I could definitely see him getting returns as well. So Cunha, for me, in the next 2-3 games, will be someone that I'm looking to bring in anyway. But I do think once Brian Mbeumo goes, he offers insane value for the price point he's at. Last up, number 5, a little bit of a differential. It's Wilson from Fulham. I brought him in for the next 3 weeks. Like I said, he's a short-term punt, but again, he's on set pieces. He does score goals from absolutely nothing as well. You know, a lot of them are wonder goals. Sometimes you say, is it a bit lucky? But he consistently does it. So I'd argue that actually that's just how his game is. I think a lot of Fulham's attack does go through him. So yeah, he's just a little bit of a differential in there, a little bit of a cheaper option, but one that I think over the next 2-3 weeks could be quite explosive. And last up, onto the forwards, Erling Haaland, Igor Thiago. We won't talk too much about them because they kind of just go hand in hand with there. So them two are fine. So them two are fantastic picks. I've got Nick Voltemade in at number 3. Now, I'm not too sure about this one. I've got him here because I think the fixtures are good for Newcastle attacking wise. I would be a little bit concerned about Johan Visser's minutes. Obviously, we saw him come back, and it will take him a few games, obviously, to get up to speed, but I think once he does, there could be a little bit more rotation. So I think Voltemade in the short term is a great pick. Long term, maybe not so much, but I think right now, if you're looking for someone from now to the Christmas period, I think he's a fine option at the moment. I've got Raul Jimenez at number 4. Obviously, he's going to be playing for Fulham as Muniz isn't back till January, so you've got him over the Christmas period. I don't think he's the most prolific goal scorer. He's definitely not somebody who gets, you know, multiple returns like a goal and assist or 2 goals. But if you're looking for a steady Eddie, they've got a good fixture over the next 3 Fulham. So yeah, I do like him. And obviously at his price point, he's fairly cheap as well. So yeah, I do like Raul Jimenez as a pick. And last up is a big differential, and that is Hugo Ekitike. This is a sole roll of the dice and a pure gamble. So just bear on the side of caution with that. I am thinking that Ekitike is going to play because to me, he's Liverpool's most prolific attacker other than Szoboszlai this season. And I just think with the run Liverpool are in at the moment, they need consistency. And I think Ekitike does provide that. Will he play 90 minutes? Most probably not. Even when Isak wasn't about at the start of the season, he wasn't playing 90 minutes. So I probably wouldn't expect him to stay on for the whole game. But I do think that if he does play, the upside is there with him. Right, let's take a quick run through what my team is looking like for this current game week. So we'll start off in goal, Gigi Donnarumma. He's going to be there till game week 18, and I will swap him out for Jordan Pickford. So yeah, Crystal Palace away. I think now that Munoz has been ruled out, I think that does help Donnarumma's chance for a clean sheet a little bit more because a lot of Palace's attack goes through him. But yeah, for me, like I said, he's just a set and forget for the next few weeks. Onto the back 3, Yuri and Timber against Wolves. Hopefully, fingers crossed he plays. He is flagged at the moment, but I do think he will be there for that game. And obviously, clean sheet potential is fantastic. Trevor Chalobah is also in my team. Everton at home. He's probably going to end up starting for me, even if I do make a transfer, as I'm going to come to in a second with Hincapié. Everton at home, I think, is a great option. He's actually been very, very good this year for me, Trevor Chalobah. Every time I've owned him, he's done very well. So yeah, I'm more than happy to play him. Dan Burn, Sunderland away. Now, I've got him in here currently, but like I said, if I do end up moving Munoz out, which I probably will do to Hincapié, I will bench Dan Burn this week because I do think time with Derby, you just can't predict it. And I think Sunderland will be up for it. Newcastle will be up for it. I think it could be a game where there could be a few cards in there, you know, maybe a few rash challenges, but also I think there'll be goals in that game as well. So that's what the back three is looking like. But Hincapié will be playing in that third centre-back spot instead of Dan Burn. Then we come on to the 2 midfielders. We'll start with the 2 Brunos. Bruno G is going to be playing there. Like I said, I do expect goals in this game, and you know he scored 2 in his last 2 for Newcastle. Maybe a little bit fortunate, obviously 1 from the corner, but still I think that he's a talismanic player. He's their captain, and I do think that he offers quite high upside. Bruno Fernandes against a Bournemouth side who aren't defending well at the moment. Yes, they got a clean sheet against Chelsea, but how that game stayed 0-0, I will never know. Bruno Fernandes is in fantastic form. Is a potential outside captaincy shout this week as well, dare I say, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Declan Rice at home to Wolves, of course, just fantastic. I'm hoping that he's going to be back and played. He was obviously rested midweek against Club Brugge, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that was just precautionary and that he will be back for this game because I think the upside for Arsenal in this one is massive. Phil Foden, again, same thing, obviously with Munoz being out, which does weaken Crystal Palace both attacking and defensively. Phil Foden, like I've said this for the last sort of 2 weeks now, when he's in a purple patch like this, you just have to own him until he either gets benched or until he gets blanked or until he rotates. I think you just own him, you leave him in there and just let him play his ball. Harry Wilson, the last one up, my differential for the week, I think he's, at the time of recording, he's only about 1.7% owned, so very cheap, very low owned, big differential, and Fulham over the next 3 weeks have got fantastic fixtures as well. So I'm very happy with my midfield. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they can bring home big points this week. And onto the forward line, Erling Haaland and Igor Thiago. Thiago is actually my captaincy at this point in time. Now, I've gone back through his recent game weeks, and he actually has a very, very good expected goal every game. Now, I know a lot of them have been penalties. I do bear that in mind, but Brentford are obviously consistently winning penalties, and when he's on them, I think he's only missed 1 this season, so I do like him. Obviously, Erling Haaland, I am considering taking the captaincy back to him now because obviously with the news about Munoz, it does make me kind of look at Crystal Palace as like maybe there's a little bit more options here for Man City to do well in. We'll have to wait and see. I'll make that decision probably tomorrow night / Friday morning. But yeah, for right now, Igor Thiago is my captain, but that is what my game week 16 team is looking like. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I hope you guys have a great game week. If you've got any comments or any questions about anything about my team, about your team, feel free to leave it in the comments down below and I'll get back to you, or alternatively, follow me on X. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic game week. I hope it goes really well. And fingers crossed we can get a nice green arrow and some more points this week. So thank you all so much for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time.